Thank you so much for tuning in. This is attorney Matt Wayman here to chat with you about warrant recalls and how to get warrants withdrawn. First, I guess just to find out if you even have a warrant out for you, the easiest way would be to go to CaseNet Missouri, search your name, and see if there's any open cases that have warrants issued on them. You can also call me. Attorneys have access to databases that attorneys and law enforcement professionals only have access to, where we can actually find out if you have any warrants out for your arrest. I can also call St. Louis County and ask the operator over there if you've got any warrants out for your arrest, and they will generally tell me. The only ones that I cannot see are suppressed indictments on the federal level, sometimes on the state level, because they just don't want anybody to be able to see those, so we don't have access to those either. If you do think you have a warrant out, it either goes one of two ways after you actually confirm that that warrant is out for you. Either you're going to go the consent route, or you're going to go the turning yourself in route. If you're going to go try to get a consent warrant recall, you're going to want to get an attorney involved. I would reach out to the prosecutor and ask the prosecutor if there's any way that they could just consent to having the warrant recalled. If they agree, I would just file the paperwork with the court, and the judge would sign an order actually recalling that warrant. That generally only occurs on lower level cases, lower level stealing cases, maybe drug possession, maybe tampering with a motor vehicle. Any higher level felonies or any cases where the defendant has a lot of failures to appear prior, the court and the prosecutor generally is not going to consent to any recall of that warrant. So we start talking about turning yourself in. If you want an attorney to help you turn yourself in, we actually facilitate self-surrendering of our clients all of the time. This is where I would call the detective or the prosecutor or something like that and just facilitate a time where you could actually go turn yourself in. If you're going to turn yourself in, I would just advise going to a jail to turn yourself in as opposed to a police department. So you could go to the City Justice Center or the County Justice Center over there in downtown Clayton and turn yourself into the fugitive window. You don't want to take anything with you that could ever be used against you, so you wouldn't take your cell phone with you, because if there's evidence on your cell phone and you turn it into the property of the jail, there's a chance that prosecutor could go get a warrant and actually seize that cell phone and search that cell phone. So the only thing you want to take with you would be maybe an ID or a driver's license, and possibly, if it's a lower level bond case, maybe just some bond money. If it's a higher level bond, or the bond is a couple $100,000 and you need to negotiate it down, then you wouldn't take any money with you. You would leave your bond money with somebody on the outside. Then you definitely want to get an attorney involved, so that after you turn yourself in, when you get yourself in front of a judge, soon after that, your attorney can appear on your behalf and actually argue with the judge to modify that bond, to lower it, to allow you to be released pending litigation of the actual case. If you do have a very high bond and it's a victim case, you do have to worry about maybe like a 5 or 6 day timeline, because if you turn yourself in and there's a victim on the case and then you go in front of a judge, then the prosecution can actually ask for 5 additional days that you're going to be held in custody before you can actually be heard on the issue of bond, because the victim, under the Victims' Rights Statute, has a right to be there for any modification of the bond. So if you're going to do that, you want to make sure that you turn yourself in on the right day so that you're not going to be held in custody for longer than you need to. I would always advise just generally to turn yourself in earlier in the week, so there's a higher likelihood that you're not going to be held over the weekend. So if you're turning yourself in on a Tuesday, you can go in front of a judge on a Wednesday or Thursday. A bad case would be if you turn yourself in on like a Wednesday and you don't make the Friday docket. Now you're going to be held over the weekend until you actually go in front of the judge, have the judge read the charges against you, and then have the chance to ask the judge to modify your bond at that point. If you want us to help, please feel free to reach out and we can walk you through this process. I want to thank you all so much for tuning back in. We're going to be back soon with more videos. Thanks.